I'm here in Kentucky to meet Worth Goble. This 98-year-old sailor joined the Navy 80 years ago. He was part of the very first crew aboard the aircraft carrier Hornet and is now one of the last still living. On August 18, 1943, a handful of boys from the same small county were finally old enough to join the fight in World War II. They all hopped on a bus to the nearest recruiting station where Uncle Sam had a surprise for them. 17 out of the 19 young men were all assigned to the same ship. The Hornet was about to get a shot of Johnson County's strongest.
My name is Worth Goble, and you're watching the Hornet Tales. I'm a plank owner of the Hornet. Before we did the shakedown cruise, I got acquainted with an officer, and he found out I was in Kentucky. He said, "I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll let you go home 3 days. You bring back a quart of liquor." I said, "I'll bring you a gallon." And I got to go home. I was the only guy that got to go home before we shoved out. When we come back, then we got our assignments. Our job was right on the top of the superstructure, right on the island. We could walk right out of our compartment. I mean, it was just something. I know one night we'd been out, a year and a half or hour and a half, either 300 or 400 planes from all over the carrier. I heard the captain say, the Hornet makes the first run. They hit that big battleship. 3 torpedoes, I believe it was, and a bomb. Oh, that was a hectic time. But they knew that they wasn't going to get back. See, they was 200 miles further than they were supposed to be. So they started coming back in the dark, and they was crashing this all over the place. The admiral turned the lights on, and it was just bright as day. And you can see them falling. And every destroyer that picked up a pilot, when they take him back to his ship, he got 100 gallons of ice cream. I saw 2 or 3 planes, just a pilot come in and just stood it on his head like that. And some of them come in and hit 2 or 3 planes at one time before they stop it. But if they missed the cable, they'd wave them off. Some of them would go on, some of them wouldn't. I've seen them, they wrecked so bad, they just got the guy out and threw the thing over the sea. They didn't even try to get it. And some of them had crashed and they'd push them out of the way. But they just as fast as they could land them, they'd get them out. One morning, they shot down a plane, but the guy had a big fancy suit on, son, purples, all that. They brought him on our ship because the admiral interrogated. And so them kamikaze boys, they knew they wasn't coming back. They had all kind of big fancy suits on and everything. I was watching the barrel at sea. They just dropped him over the side. But the reason I don't want to see another, this one didn't sink. Boom. They let the destroyer to about 5 miles out of the 5-inch gun on it, blowed him up. Had to sink him. And I didn't want to see no more. And when we come into port, anchored in the bay at Ulysses, I think it was, they put a big net over the side. You can climb over that side or you can jump in, dive off the pitchboard. One day they all out there and they hollered, "Shark, shark." This Marine was riding a boat that's supposed to be protecting them, and he got excited and shot a hole through the whole bottom.
This man is worth his weight in gold. One time when the Hornet was anchored out in the South Pacific, the Johnson County boys got a visit from a very famous movie star.
Everybody was anchored there, carriers in one place, battleships in another, and she just made a run all through all of them, come riding around on a PT boat. Everywhere you hear, it's woo, 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 that whole 3,000 men and more. Yeah, she was something to look at, especially if you hadn't seen a woman in 3 years. Thank you for watching Hornet Tales.